Gas stations are the king of all transitional spaces, and you better be ready to protect yourself when you're in one. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson, which is actually two separate incidents that we're going to consider together. It's going to teach us about the dangers of compliance and the dangers of protection, and it's going to also teach us about how to protect ourselves effectively with the tools at our disposal. Now this gas station robbery starts where you see these guys that are filling cars, and these guys on the motorcycles are our robbers, and we're going to see the one guy jump off the bike on the right, and he's going to be the guy that's going to be a lot of problem as it ends up here. He's going to go frisk this employee on the right side here, and he's going to go back to this other employee. And, you know, as these armed robberies go, you got to either get out of the danger zone or take definitive action to protect yourself. Now, what happens is he goes back to this employee, puts his hands up, and we don't see a whole lot of why of their interaction, but for whatever reason, that guy just reaches out right there and shoots him. Now, I want to think about why here. What we see a lot of times in these kinds of shooting is that the bad guy decides that something frustrated him, that this guy said something that challenged his ego. And because he challenged his ego, hey, I ain't got anything, and then, you know, said something about his mom or something, the guy decides to shoot him. Guys, compliance doesn't always buy you, safety in an armed robbery, but certainly this is a worst case outcome. Next, we're going to see this guy start, feeling down this guy here and shaking him down for his stuff. And this guy's the guy that's pumping gas at this gas station. And as he goes to, my guess would get his wallet there or whatever, the clerk is going to reach out and go ahead and try to defend himself. And defend himself with the gas pump. And I hear people talk about that, oh, I'll spray him with gas. And it ends up working for him. So the guy runs off and nobody's hurt in this one. But I want to think about a couple of significant lessons here as we go back and look at this one a little bit more. That first of all, you know, in an armed robbery, something like this, you got to wait for your opportunity. And our clerk does a pretty good job of looking for his opportunity here and waiting though until he decides to get his wallet. Now, again, when the bad guy's not paying attention to you is the time to launch a counter ambush. Clearly the bad guy was paying attention to him here, and so this could have been very problematic. Now you see our victim here reach out with his left hand to try to grab back his stuff, would be my guess. And in doing that, he sets himself up to have a fight with this guy rather than to defend himself. And he's going to choose to defend himself with the gas pump. So he reaches out with the gas pump and starts hosing him down. But do you notice here he goes down to the ground, which means that he's in an incredible disadvantage. Well, he didn't have a whole lot of options because he's tethered to the pump by, the handle, by the nozzle there. So he goes to the ground and has to defend himself from that odd position. And you notice he's kind of behind the guy, that he's having a hard time dousing him. So it was effective because it looks like the guy was scared of it here, but recognize that most pumps in America won't do this. The second you pull it out of the tank, it's just going to go away. And we also notice that the bad guy's able to swing the gun back around, and the only reason he chose not to shoot him is because maybe his eyes were hurting or whatever. So this one was sketchy. It worked in the moment, but in American gas pumps, I don't recommend this either. If you are going to defend yourself with, while you're in a gas station against an armed robbery, make sure you've got the tools, the attitude, the skills, and the plan to cover your ass.